guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to start doing Manuscript Mondays. So what I understand is these are for writers or people to kind of talk about their work in progresses and how they're doing with their writing. And because I feel like I got really derailed the last few years on my writing, I thought maybe if I kind of ease in using kind of my booktube to kind of get into more other YouTube stuff with author stuff. I'm not quite to an author, I'm more writer. So Manuscript Monday is kind of my segue kind of into that. So I thought I would just kind of put up what kind of goals I want to do, writing goals for 2018 on the first Manuscript Monday of the year. So I have a little list, so if I look down, that's why. So the biggest deal for me is to write more consistently. Now, I used to write all the time, a lot of words, a lot of crap too, don't get me wrong. It wasn't like it was great. But I used to write really consistently, and I used to write in big chunks as well on the weekends. So during the week I'd be kind of off and on. It would just matter how I felt that day. But most of the weekends I was blowing, a lot of words out, and I was getting a lot of stuff done, and I got it into a rhythm for many years that I was actually finishing everything I started. And then I had some health issues, and it just kind of wavered a little bit. I still did some, but not too much. And then I had to change jobs and move, and that was the whole stress of all that stuff. And I've kind of never gotten back to my full-time writing stuff that I really enjoy doing on my off hours. So I want to put out there that I want to be more consistent. So starting today, when this goes up, I'm going to start at least going back to at least in January, and maybe some of the other months I'll do the same. I'll make a goal of how much I want to write every day that month, or an average for a week. So like I want to try to write in January, I want to write 500 words a day. Now, that could seem like a little or a lot. It matters on how I feel during the week. I mean, work days are going to be long. Again, it's our busy season where I work, so I will be probably doing a lot of overtime too. So we'll see. I mean, I think 500 words is a good number. I can crank that out as quick as, 20, 30 minutes, or it could be a whole hour that I'm like straining to put something down. But the point is to be more consistent. And I think if I become more consistent, the faster I'll get into things and I'll start finishing things again. So speaking of finishing, my goal number 2 is to finish my Nano 2017 novel. It's not a great piece of work at all, but I want to be able to get to the point where I say the end and just move on. So my goal in January is to finish that novel. It just needs to end. And December, because I was so busy with work, and then I got so sick for a few weeks, and then the holiday season, and then this last week was busy at work that I didn't even think about it. I just go, well, I'll just start on the 1st. So starting January 1st, I'm going to try to get back and finish, because I'm in the climax of this stupid novel. Now, it's not a very good one, as I just said. It's a nano novel that I wrote. It just didn't go anywhere I thought it would. It was a complete pantsing situation, which I don't do very often. I'm very much a plantser, which is I'll explain all that more later in some other video, but the point is that I usually have a plan because I'm a planner scheduler. But the point is this story just didn't go the way it was supposed to, and I just want to finish it, but I don't want to leave it open-ended, because I've done that in projects in the past, and it hurts more when I don't finish it, because I have this lingering, well, what would I have done in the end to finish it? So I want to at least put the end, and then I can put it away and never look at it again. I don't mind doing that as long as it's done and then it's out of my head. So on that, there's a book I wrote last year, or earlier, well, it was end of 2016 into 2017, and I finished. And then I started editing it in the spring and summer. And I was going to do one more revision before I kind of put it in the closet, but my aunt wants to read it. She's one of those people who wants to read everything I write, but I don't let her read everything I write. But anything that's completed, I'll give it to her just for the heck of it. Anyway, so this story is almost done, but in this the fall, I did my last edit on it, and I screwed up the timeline. I don't know what I did. I misjudged a week or something. So the first 2/3 of the book, I got the dates off, and I am So I just said, I'm a scheduler, and a planner, I need to have my dates, my timeline correct. So I got to go through and do it again. So I have to edit that book one more time with the correct timeline, which I wrote all out, like every event and day, which I hadn't done before anyway. So I probably needed to do that, but I just, anyway, so with my little fake little calendar of what year it is and everything. So anyway, I got to finish that, and I want to get that done. I would like to get that done at end of January, but it depends when my novel is done. When my novel's done, then I will edit real quick and do that. But I want to make sure that that one novel's done, and then I want to get this edited, and then it's done. So then I can move on to other things. So that goes into my fourth thing, is that Camp NaNoWriMo will be in April and July, and then we'll go back into Nano for the main one in November. And this year, I really want to not write anything like strict novel idea lengths. Like, I want to play around. I want this year to be my rediscovering my love of writing. So I know that sounds kind of weird when I'm finishing a novel that I don't really like, and then editing a novel I already wrote, which is one I like, it's just I'm not doing anything with it. But to me, I need to find the love of writing again, and I think as soon as I get consistent and write again a lot more often, then I will be able to again realize novels in their entirety before I start them. Because the last few novels that I've attempted, I failed at getting past 20,000, 25,000 because I thought of certain things, but I did not think it all the way through. And I think that if I am more consistently writing, I'm in that writer's mind, and I will think of those things that I didn't think of, and I will world build better, because I do a lot of urban fantasies and something with fantasy elements usually. So I just I want to have this year be a year where I'm just trying to get words down, and even if it's on a lot of crap stories, and even if they're all, you know, all stuff that I will never use for anything, I think it'll just release a lot of ideas and tensions and things that I can just throw in there that maybe I didn't know I was thinking about, and then just get it out and on the paper, you know, well, on the computer screen. And then, you know, so I could come up with some good ideas in there that will go from a short story idea, which is what I always start out as, and then they become novels. And so there could be some accidental novels, which I'm very good at writing. That's like half of my short stories are accidental novels. So anyway, so that's kind of what I'm hoping to do. And going along with it, number 5, as I said, the Nano in November, like April and July, I'm always in the middle of a project. That's usually not starting a new one. It's just adding words to something I'm already working on. November is usually when I start a new project right on the first day. So this year I had a vague idea, and I just went for it, and I pantsed it, and I didn't really like that. But I also don't want to go into this next year unless I'm ready for it, which at this point I'm not. But if I am by then I'll plot and plan something before November starts. But if I'm not ready, I am just going to write crap all month and do the same thing I've been doing all year. As I said, I just need to get into the habit, and I need to get back to my writing roots and get in, like, writing a lot. And I think I need a year of getting back to my output 10 years ago was just freaking incredibly, like, high. Like, I wrote several novels a year, and again, these are all for fun. I never get to the next step. So the problem is that I have all these novels that I wrote back, you know, about 10 years ago. And then, you know, I had my stall out, and and the last couple of years has been like really low. So I just, I need to give myself a year to get the love back. And I think by being consistent and writing whatever I want to, like, I could start something one day and the next day go, well, I don't want to write on that, I'll just start something else. And just as long as I'm getting the 500 words, I'm not going to care right now. Like, right now it's just, let's just write. I don't care if I'd like these, you know, like where it's going to happen. Let's just write this scene. Let's just deal with this. And I'm going to do a lot of that. So, there. And then, my 6th goal is, again, the Manuscript Monday. I'm going to plan to do these at least twice a month. I might try to do the 1st and 3rd Monday. just to give kind of an update of what I'm doing. I figure 2 weeks is kind of a good span to say, hey, how much am I writing? Am I writing anything good, or am I done with something? We'll see how it goes. At least the first couple months I'm going to be working on finishing one novel and editing another. So I'll have some updates for that. But, you know, I'm gonna wing it. And I would like to do videos on this and just kind of talk about my writing, and maybe that'll help me really focus on it, which is kind of my goal for 2018, is to write. That is my big deal. As I said, I don't have any loftier goal than just getting words down. So anyway, so those are my writing goals for 2018. As I said, they're not lofty, they're just the basic for me. And they just want to get back to basics and just write. And I'm hoping that'll bring the love. So anyway, are you guys writing a lot, or you already have plans, like you have yours, how much you're gonna hit per day or per week? I'm kind of interested to hear what's going on. So hey, I will see you guys later. Bye.